It's just a bit slow. So just
Yeah, I had some internet issues at my end.
no worries.
Well, just let me know when you can see my screen.
All right.
Not
We're still
yet.
waiting here. There it is. It's popping up now.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Are you able to see the full screen mode too, right?
Yep, we've got it on screen. Go for it.
Got it. Uh, Good morning, everyone, or good evening, depending on whatever part of the world you are in right now. So, like Ryan must have mentioned, we are going to take or cover email builder and template library in today's call. The entire intent or the way I have planned is I'm going to cover the most recent or the important releases that we may have done this month and the plans that we have for this quarter, the high level items and the most important items that the team is going to cater to. So, without further ado, let me just start with email builder. So for email builder, right, the most interesting thing that we have launched recently is enabling on the tracking or the analytics section. One of the main thing there is click performance, wherein for your email marketing campaigns, right, you can choose to track individual links there. Now, this is basically a mechanism wherein you can ensure that all your links get converted into a trackable parameter. The preview link and the unsubscribe link, however, are not part of it. And in this release, trigger links also is something that were initially working for something, but we have seen for majority of the cases it was not working. So in this release, trigger link full support is not there. Most the custom value support is there, but then there is a requirement that the link there needs to be proper in terms of syntax. For example, if there is a link which does not have https colon backslashes, it will not work. So it needs to be a complete proper link if a custom value based link is supposed to be tracked. If the link is proper, then it will work. Now, by default, we had logged it off or any disabled it. In case you wish to track it for a particular campaign, you can go ahead and enable this from the sender schedule section. And under the email campaign section, you can go ahead and click on click performance report to see, hey, how many clicks were total received, what were the total unique clicks, and what are the links that we have actually tracked. In case if it was tagged to an image or button, you can see that under the source section. And when you double click on these links, you can actually see who are those people or user IDs who has clicked on these individual links. So all of those details would be there. By default, we had toggled it off or turned it off. We recently launched under the email campaign settings. There is a section called as trackings. So in case you want for all your campaigns this to be always enabled, you can go ahead and set it up once there. And the default behavior would be this being enabled, and you can disable it if and when required. So this is one. In the same line, as of today, we have pushed UTM parameters or UTM tracking for your email marketing campaigns. So how it works is, as you can see, source medium campaign is something that we have already brought in. You can source is something wherein it would always be agency, but for UTM medium, you will have email marketing. So UTM underscore source as of now, I believe this is not the updated screenshot, but UTM underscore source should always be email. And that we are doing because we want to track all your email campaign um, behavior under the contact section, wherein you can see, hey, which contact opened what email at the end and what led them to go to the website. So all of those features would be available, but as a precursor we have to start sending those details. So UTM underscore source, we have locked it as email. UTM underscore medium is something which is an editable field. As of now, it has agency name or agency, just simply writes agency. You also have UTM underscore campaign. These are the three defaults providing, wherein you cannot disable or not
We are losing Shreya, right?
source or
Yeah,
medium,
I think so.
but you can choose simple custom to add
Shreya, we are losing you for like few seconds. And you hear us?
which my video.
No worries. Let me find her deck. I can also take over. Just give me 1 second.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, it sounds like we're just kind of going over the UTM tracking just to
Yeah.
kind of keep everybody updated and the ability to set defaults for your UTM parameters, which I think just went live today, if I was reading the release notes properly.
And we are in process of adding more adding it at the contact level as well, like to tell which email went out and what were the UTM parameters around it. That's something that team is going to work on. Yeah, you were in bit of a breaking mode. It's all cool if you keep your video off.
Yeah, I switched my net connection. Let's see if this one works.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So basically, I'll just take from where Pooja was mentioning. So basically, we have locked UTM underscore source as email because we want to track or provide all the email campaign level details under the contact log section. So right now under contacts, when you drill down into a contact, you can see where was the appointment booked, which website page are they visiting, but you do not get details around email campaigns. Going forward, you would have some details around that as well if you enable this, where we will give information around which campaign was last opened, which campaign was led them to go to a website. You can track all of those things, but that was not the primary intention of this release. From this release, we wanted you to have the capability of analyzing the attribution or your current traffic on your website on third party tools like Google Analytics. Now, right now, if you see, we have already provided three kind of parameters: source, medium, and campaign. For UTM campaign, in the drop down, you will have option of sending the campaign name and the send date. This combination is also available, and that we have defaulted it to that. You can choose to send it for all your campaigns. Now, if you enable this under the settings page and say, hey, by default, I want to add all of these tracking parameters to individual links, you can also disable it from the sender schedule screen. So under the settings page, you can set your defaults, but you can customize it at a campaign level page. We support up to 5 additional UTM parameters that you can go ahead and add. And you can choose, hey, which parameters do I want to show and which ones I do not want to, by simply clicking on the check boxes. And once you save it, that will become your default behavior. So this is something that got released as of today. We have made live the change log along with the help document. There are some best practices around adding or enabling this feature. For example, not using blank spaces, but rather switching into underscores or ampersands. All of those components are mentioned in those help documents. Do give it a read. In case you still have questions, please feel free to reach out. There were other things that also went live recently. The most important thing, which we believe from a business perspective, is the quick resubscribe option on the unsubscribe section. So previously, when someone clicked on unsubscribe, we were unsubscribing them, and we were gathering data around the reason or the unsubscribe survey, which was then showed under the audit log of the contact. But we have also introduced an option of quick resubscribing, wherein in case by mistake, if a contact may have unsubscribed, with just simple click, they can resubscribe back or you can remove their DND. we do identify there is an issue here wherein once someone clicks and unsubscribe, we mark them or we put a complete DND for all the kind of emails. We do not segregate transactional and marketing emails as of now, but we are working on something closer to subscription preferences or list management, wherein going forward you can say, hey, once I click on unsubscribe, I am actually marking that ABC is not my preference. I would only want to receive emails which are transactional or something else. So all of those capabilities we are working on, which would be an enhancement on the unsubscribe flow that we currently have. Ryan, are you saying something? I think you're on mute.
Yeah, sorry about that. Stepping back to the UTM parameters, Dia was asking if those are going to be editable on a per campaign basis. So in other words, you have your defaults, those are all good, but maybe one campaign you want to change one of the UTMs.
As of now, in the first iteration, we have put something which is more of a global default, but then that is our next plan for next phase. We just wanted to have some capability around this, but not in this
Okay,
space.
cool. But keeping in mind that the campaign name is going to be
Correct.
dynamic. So, theoretically, I mean, I can think of a lot of use cases where you'd want to change it, but for basic stuff, I mean, you'd kind of want to keep everything the same, except for like the campaign and ad set or what have you.
Correct.
Cool.
So we support in this UTM underscore campaign multiple permutations and combinations. You can also choose to send campaign name in brackets send date, which can further help you identify that particular campaign which you want to refer to.
Yeah.
Shreya, do you want me to share my screen quickly for these options?
Yes. I think I have it too. But
Yes.
yeah, please.
So these are the different options which we can select as of now. So you can see like these are dynamic in nature. If you choose campaign name, campaign ID, so you will get both campaign name, that particular campaign name and ID.
Correct. And Harsh, can you please stay on this page? So, like on the previous slide, I was mentioning that going forward, you can also choose the default of click performance tracking. Previously, we had everything disabled and you had to enable it at a per campaign basis. But now you can just simply enable it at under the tracking option, and we will take that as a default behavior for all your campaigns. You would have the freedom to edit it at the sender schedule screen while for a per campaign basis. But going forward, everything tracking, you can set your defaults here. Yeah. Let me go back to my. Yeah, so that was for resubscribe or the current unsubscribe flow, wherein we are working on something like a list preference management center, wherein someone does not completely moves away or DNDs you for all kind of emails. We are trying to bring in some checks around this, wherein you have the option to ask them to manage their preferences. The other thing that we are also improving while we speak is the email campaign dashboard page, wherein we have added the capability of filtering for multiple date ranges, custom date ranges. Initially, we only allowed 7 and 30 days, but going forward, you can do it for a custom date range, 60 days and 90 days as well. So this is the current things which are already live. Now, talking about things which we are aiming to basically look at in the very recent future, and by this I mean in the span of the next month, by the end of August. So this thing fairly close early, probably in a week or so. We are already in the testing phases. So what does this option does is, in your email campaigns, when you are adding a product element, which are basically the products that you have under the payment section, you had a link redirection option enabled, wherein you can choose when someone clicks on buy now, which page are they getting redirected to. But going forward, you can also have the direct checkout option enabled, wherein you can, when you click on this, the user, when they click on buy now, would directly go to the gateway or the checkout page. Now, if you want to customize it per product, we have exposed the gateway or the checkout page link here, wherein when you click on this, you would be able to edit the fields very close to how you edit it in the payment link section under the payments. So direct checkout is basically directly leading to the checkout option, and any payment made under this, right, would get attributed to this campaign directly. The initial logic of attribution window and the campaign which gets last opened by the user before making the payment will not stand true for this case. In case someone clicks on direct checkout, any payment made through that payment link would get attributed to this campaign. I'll take a pause to look at the questions.
Yeah, so just to kind of catch up, it looks like Steve's question was answered about when the unsubscribe preferences are going to be added, and then Dia was asking.
Was that answered?
Yes, Steve. So
Pooja
basically,
just
yeah. So basically, Steve, the contacts team is running it down. Like we shared it from our side, like in terms of what the email team wanted, and we shared all the research from our side. But overall as a company and objective, we want to do it across all the channels, not just specific to emails. So email builder team would not be taking the full development on our side. Like we will be the other helping hand over there. And this quarter, the team already has been instructed that they will be taking it forward, the contacts team. And first, they will start with email as the first channel.
Got it.
Correct.
So are we talking this
So
quarter
this
or
quarter.
next quarter?
This quarter.
Got it.
the
That's all I
expected
need to know. That's all.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Cool. And then Dia was asking, can we make the transactional emails be exempted from D&D when
Yes.
unsubscribe link? Yeah. So that's part of those preferences, Dia.
Correct. So we have started looking at a mechanism wherein by default we will segregate between marketing and transactional emails. Anything flowing in through campaigns or workflows would not be transactional. So in case someone unsubscribes, they will still have under their preference section the preference for one-on-one emails or transactional emails enabled, unless they click on the option of, hey, I do not want to receive any emails from this source at all, which we will have to expose as per Google recent laws. In that case is the only case wherein the transactional emails will get blocked, but our unsubscribe link will ensure that transactional emails get sent.
Okay. Dia, do you have a follow-up on that?
Yes, sir. So just to clarify, is this also going to be available for Mailgun users or only for LC?
We are still verifying what would be the first phases of our deployment. This is still under a lot of different checks or technical analysis as of now, and it's too soon for us to comment on this. But probably next month
What
down,
what is the exact feature we are talking about?
the unsubscribe option, the preference management for Mailgun, Shivam.
It's easier to execute on LC email because,
Correct.
yeah,
The idea of updating the unsubscribe link list or the suppression list on Mailgun, we have still not done a technical analysis on that. So
yeah.
probably
I think
next town
the
hall we'll-
problem, just to explain to the to all the viewers, this applies to LC phone as well as LC email. A lot of these compliance items, and especially where we have to maintain blacklist of contacts or we have to skip sending messages or email to certain contacts, when it is our own Mailgun domain, like when you are using LC email, we configure that domain inside our Mailgun account, or when you are LC phone, we are configuring the sub account inside our Twilio account. We have a lot many controls, and we get a lot many webhooks that make our life easier. If we have to do the same thing using the Mailgun API key where you own the Mailgun account, like if you are using the Mailgun integration, it just requires us to write a lot more code because we are limited by what we can do with an API key. So this feature is going to roll out for LC first. After that, depending upon the customer demand, if there are a lot of votes for Mailgun, we can build it there. And custom SMTP, I think it would it's reasonable to say it would never come on the custom SMTP connection because we have absolutely no control over there on the blacklist.
Got it. DM.
Yes, follow-up question with that unsubscribe. So just to clarify, the default for the unsubscribe will exclude transactional emails. Would this also be like identified in the contact profile wherein it shows which list unsubscribe data they have opted out for, and also with because the full set the full when you DND someone in the contacts profile, we are unable to send out personal or direct emails to them. So would that also be excluded when they unsubscribe, meaning we don't need to remove the DND on the email first before we can send out emails?
So basically, DIA, like they will be choosing like a list. Like for example, if they were part of like a marketing list, right? Or like some campaign list that they were part of, and like you sent out them 4 or 5 emails. And if the customer unsubscribes from that, it's only relevant to that list they will get unsubscribed. Like you will be able to still send out them emails about like any personal information that you're trying to reach out to them.
Okay, because currently if the email is set to DND, the user
It does
cannot
not. Yeah.
send out.
But in future, like once the preference setting for the list and everything comes into picture, like that should be able to like, work us through and walk us through the experience that won't like, do like, hard stop at DND.
Okay, thank you.
Cool. And then Tony was asking, this might be a different team if I'm remembering correctly, but for health checks for the domain, I know that we have like, I think there's like a risk assessment or that, but essentially being able to see like recommended actions to improve open rates for like the domain.
So I guess yes, this is more of a domain or the LC email question. But what we are also bringing in the email builder or the campaign section is spam score in the near future, and checklist which includes recommendations and errors or warnings. That is something that is in our roadmap for this quarter, wherein first you would be able to see, hey, if some email is more prone to go into the spam folder, there might be some domain reputation issues also, which has been accounted in the spam score detailed report, which is right now under the builds with LC email team. And how we envision to go forward with that is also to provide you some suggestive recommendations. Hey, probably work on this, or the domain reputation doesn't look nice. But then that is something that is the eventual goal. As of now, we are first going to bring something called as the spam score, which all the details of your domain reputation, content issues, so on and so forth.
Perfect. Charles?
Is there any way that we can get integrate the Google Postmaster API? I think that was more. They do have an API for the Google Postmaster, so that way we could see that domain reputation, spam reports, without having to manually go do it every time that we open up a dedicated domain.
Yeah,
From an agency standpoint, it'd be nice.
I'm forgetting the details, of course, but the LC email team at all were having a discussion about this last week. So it's definitely on the radar for sure.
Yeah, so that is something that very close to that is getting built. You would not have to reinitiate the score calculation all the time. This is something that would be inbuilt and can be accessed with simply probably one action button.
Cool.
Okay, next question. Is it editable? Yes, it is editable, but not per campaign, UTM parameters. I guess.
Cool. And then we have one here. When are we going to have the option to filter people by clicking and opening certain emails, not just the last campaign? So in other words, selecting a specific email send.
Correct. So email engagement type filters on your current contact basis is something that we have planned, but this is not part of our this quarter roadmap. We are going to take it up in Q4, wherein you would be able to tag people on the basis of whether they have clicked, opened, or not opened, or engaged with any of your email campaigns or multiple campaigns.
Okay. And then as far as the SMTP send rate, I don't know, that might be something we need to jump on support and kind of troubleshoot,
Mhm.
unless there's like a known limit about that, but I don't really see that 10 emails for every 10 minutes. I'm not sure that makes sense. So
Yeah, it's not.
for UTM parameters and other statistics and reporting, we barely send campaigns, but we send tons of emails and workflows. Are those functionalities going to be end up here as well?
Yeah. So, I believe what I also have in my list is something called as collation. So we have taking steps of creating or collating all your email actions, right? Be it email marketing, workflows, or bulk actions get collated under a single view. Now, in step one, we want to ensure that you have some level of details around the individual emails, like what were the open rates, how many emails were actually sent, and the conversions are also attributed by considering all kind of emails. Initially, for conversion metrics, we were just counting the email campaigns, but going forward we are going to account for the email actions or the bulk action campaigns, and everything will come under email dashboard. Now, the long-term goal there is also to provide capabilities like click performance or UTM for all of these campaigns getting executed from some other locations like workflows or bulk action. So we have taken a step one in that regard. Probably it is a matter of this quarter and the next quarter, and probably just one more quarter, wherein we have parity around all campaigns have similar level of functionality in terms of reporting and the advanced capabilities that we are adding.
Okay, so coming soon. Cool.
Got it.
Ooh,
Okay.
this one looks fun.
Yeah. So talking about the next thing is the capability of sharing email templates. Now, as of now, you had the option as an agency admin to upload it to the template library and then probably share it with another agency. But then, similar to funnels, you would now be able to create a shareable link of your email templates and then share it cross location or cross agencies. Now, only the agency admin will have access to share these email templates in this iteration. We are already in testing phases, and this is going to go live probably this week itself.
This is tremendously helpful for a project I'm working on, so thank you.
If you're talking about affiliate management section of project, then I guess Chase Chase is one of the pioneer, or he brought this idea entirely into our roadmap, basically.
Yeah, it's not the Ryan's, but this is Chase special, but it's gonna help Ryan, so I'm all in favor of it.
Now it's Chase and Ryan special on our
Okay,
roadmap.
I'll take the credit, even though I didn't do anything.
Yeah. The other thing that we are also going to work this month is the capability of providing you with pre-built engagement segments. Now, this is something that you would want to send emails only to those people who probably have engaged with your emails. And there are some logical segments, like you would want to send emails in that in a particular in your entire contact list to only those people who probably have engaged with your emails in last 30 days or last 60 days, or who might not have engaged with your last 5 emails. So we are building these advanced segments wherein you can run campaigns to probably re-engage with those users or only engage with the users who are already probably an engaged user subset. So all of those pre-built segments would be available in the send or scheduled received section, where recipients, you can choose pre-built segment type of segments, under the recipient section, and then choose which type of pre-built segments do you want to bring in. These are something that we will generate on behalf of all, and you do not need to initiate it in as a smart list under contacts or anything. This is something that would be available pre-default, as a default inside the email campaign section.
Okay, and then I'll get to you, Brad, but Dio is asking for these pre-built segments, will we be able to add those that did not open or click? I think, would that be
I-
defined? Maybe we just need definitions around what engaged means.
Correct. Engaged includes opened or clicked. So by default, anyone who might not have opened or clicked any of your campaigns in last 30 days, or who might have engaged with your campaigns in last 30 days, is someone who would be part of users engaged in last 30 days. And
Okay.
someone who might have interacted with last 5 emails probably never engaged in last 5 emails.
Okay, cool. And then with regard to the, maybe this is going backwards, but like when you set up a campaign, Brad was asking, when you select a smart list, if there'd be a way to show a preview of the contexts that are included with those. I don't know if that's on the list or not, but I mean, I could see where it's useful to get a modal that pops up with the contacts kind of populated in there, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think this is an interesting use case. The only thing that might come is there are few cases, for example, in batch schedule or schedule emails, where the original list of contact is generated at the time of sent date, or the execution time basically. So smart list gets updated at that time. But this is an interesting case we can definitely consider but it might be more useful for send now cases than a scheduled case or a batch scheduled case.
Yeah, that's a good point. Dia?
Yes, sir.
Advanced.
Sorry. Just to follow up on this one. So, is it something included in the roadmap wherein when you send a specific campaign and then you just wanted to send to the openers or clickers for that campaign?
So campaign engagement, we call it more of like a segment created on the basis of who and how are they engaging with your campaigns. This is something that we are going to take up next quarter, wherein you can create a list of people who might have engaged with any of your campaigns in any other ways. One campaign or multiple campaigns also.
But will you be adding just for a specific campaign? Because let's say that we have an affiliate partner where we're sending it to our list. And then the second email of that series, we only want it sent to openers or clickers.
Makes sense. Yes, that is something that would be possible. We will also help you build sequence with all of those emails.
Okay.
It would be possible basically, wherein you can choose, hey, for this campaign, whoever has clicked, I want to send the next email to those people. You would be able to do that. You would be able to create recipient list on the basis of how the engagement of a campaign A or B.
All right. But then the third email will be sent to all of the email list again. That's possible?
Yes,
So,
that is all possible.
okay. All right. Thank you.
So you would be able to build a sequence on your liking. We will give you the capability of creating or filtering out the your contact base on the basis of their engagement with a particular campaign or multiple campaigns. Okay, going on to the next question. Use of now schedule, just seeing who's in that smart list. We can definitely explore this option wherein you click on the total number of contacts and then be able to look at all the details of that user.
Yeah.
To this.
Okay. And then for I'm assuming that we're probably moving toward workflow actions for resending those unopened.
Resending to unopened is right now available, and it is possible to do from the email marketing section itself, wherein you can choose a email which was sent, and then you can click on the three dots and resend that email to the non-openers by simply changing the subject line. It is already possible.
It's just kind of referring to more of an like a nurture sequence. So like if they open the email, then it would send them down a different if else path or branch rather.
Correct. So a trigger or probably a conditional check on where how has someone interacted with the campaign, probably like if they have opened or not opened, going to your example, that would be possible once we start allowing segmentation on the basis of campaign engagement, like how contacts are engaging with the campaign. Are they opening, not opening, clicking, not clicking, unsubscribing? You would be able to do all of those kind of things.
Okay,
Like,
cool. Yeah, it's kind of an interesting use case because you could really build a nice, tailored nurture campaign the more engaged they became, perhaps. Awesome. And then Brad was asking, thank you. Let's see, regardless of now or schedule, just seeing it, who's in the smart list. Okay, cool. Got that. And then for the resend campaign, does it make sense to remove the seconds option? Kind of. Seconds might be a little too precise. I don't know. Maybe there's a reason that it's in there.
yeah, just in case you want to probably send it at just to ensure someone who wishes to do that has the capability.
Sounds like it was easy enough, so we included seconds. If you don't want to use it, just ignore it. Cool. I think
Got
we
it.
can move on here.
Okay. Moving on to the next thing that we have in our list is conditional elements. Now, this is one of the top voted items on Ideas dashboard as well, wherein the request was to have a capability of making an element conditional, that this element would only be visible to those people who have value A in their custom field, and do not show it to the people who do not have value A in their custom field. So you would be able to now go ahead and put conditions on a particular element to see if it should be visible to a sect of your users or not. So this would be possible, and you can choose which custom field, what is the condition. For example, I want to only show this element to the custom field where location is probably US, or I do not want to show this particular element where the location is not US, probably something like that. You can go ahead and play around with this, wherein you can choose who gets to see this element and who does not.
That's really cool. I love this idea a lot.
So this basically helps you save time around not duplicating your efforts, or else right now you would have to create smart lists out of the property or the value inside your custom fields, and then probably duplicate your campaign and then send them separately. But right now with this option, you can just have all of those things done by a step.
Amazing.
The other thing, like I had already discussed, is our efforts towards collating everything email under one dashboard or one section. So the idea is wherever your templates are getting used, right, bulk action or email actions, we want to collate everything inside email marketing section. And similar to email campaign stats page, you would be able to see your workflow stats, like, hey, this is the total email that was sent as a part of this workflow, and these are the ABC email actions that are part of this workflow and the individual reports for that. And you would also be able to see, hey, this is the amount that got attributed to this particular workflow. So all of those things would be seen under a single section, and the stats would also be more clearer, wherein it will account for all kind of emails that you're sending out through different areas. So this is done. Then talking about the other things that we have in our list. One is the subscriber preference center. Now, this is what we are working on as of now. And like Pooja mentioned, the first part of that would be emails, wherein you, while someone clicks on unsubscribe, they will be exposed to a list of preferences that you would build. That hey, whether you want to unsubscribe or manage only manage your preferences in terms of whether you want to receive newsletters, courses, our marketing emails, so on and so forth. So you can expose the entire preference list, and depending on their interaction with that list, we will update the communication preference of that contact, which should be visible under the contact section. And when someone clicks on unsubscribe, right, we would not by default go ahead and remove them from transactional emails as well, unless they specifically specify that mark me as DND for this particular domain. So now those two things would be separated. The other things which are also coming in a span of 2 to 3 weeks is brand board and countdown timer. Now, brand board is wherein at one location you can specify, hey, these are my colors, these are my fonts, these are my everything. And then you would go ahead and whenever you are creating emails or funnels, you would be able to see as the first recommendations of colors whenever you are editing something would be your brand colors. The first recommendations for your font selector would be your brand fonts, so that you can quickly select them and you do not have to remember the hex codes every time. And for funnels, you do not have to create custom colors every time. So you will have those options at the tip of your fingers to simply tap on and have those access. You can create multiple brand boards as well and choose one of them as your defaults, which would be the one which would be visible in email builder or the funnels page. The other thing that is going live probably in a span of 2 weeks again is countdown timer. Here in the countdown timer, you would be able to build in the first iteration a recurring or a fixed timer, which you can use inside your emails as well. You can use inside emails and funnels. Both of them would show these countdown timers. Eventually, you would also have the statistics for individual timers. You can see, hey, how many emails were sent using this timer, how many people actually viewed this timer, how many people clicked on this timer to avail the offer. All of those capabilities would be part of this. The last thing that we have, which is an interesting item that the team is going to pick up, is forms and surveys elements, wherein you would now go ahead, you can basically go ahead and add a scoring element or a 5-star element inside your emails. And depending on, let's just say you added a 5-star element to your email, and you can just change the text around, hey, depending on your experience so far, just rate us. Depending on who is interacting with what star level, you would see all of those details inside campaign statistics. You would see, hey, for 5 stars, out of 100 people that I have sent email, 6 of them probably clicked on 5-star. 4-star, probably 90 people clicked on 4 stars. So you would be able to see individual star ratings and the contacts who clicked on all of those stars. Similarly, there would be multiple options like 1 to 10 rating, or a like or a dislike button. We are working on multiple templates around that, which will be pre-built, and you can simply use it inside your email and change the colors or and suit it as per your email's theme. The other thing that would also be supported as a part of this is the forms that you build under high level form section. So we will give you an option to select which form do you want to add to this particular email. And you would have that particular form submission details also in the email campaign section. However, we are working on the case of providing the option to interact or fill in the form in the same screen. the text level details. That is something that we are still working on. But then in the first iteration, you would have the capability of at least choosing a form directly from that element and adding a thumbnail, and the direct link would already be updated or available as a part of that form. And everything would be shown under the campaign statistics page. This is something that we are going to work on very soon. You would see probably in the by the next town hall we can show some designs, and we would already be in the midst of the development of this.
Cool. So essentially, there's going to be sort of three ways that you can do it. One is going to be like a pre-built just to get instant feedback that'll be linked to the contact. The second way is to have just like the form linked with a thumbnail of it, and then the final iteration would be a fillable form that has custom values and all that kind of stuff that you can fill out right in the email, and that gets submitted, and those custom fields would be updated for the contact. Am I
Correct.
understanding that right?
Yes. The step
Cool.
1 and 2 would be supported in this iteration itself. The capability to fill the form in the same email screen is something that would not be part of this phase, because this has some email client level restrictions, which needs much more technical effort on our end. So we will release this in phases. We are going to release something that is possible. And what me and my team believes is that the capability to basically add those 5 stars or NPS scoring, or that I'm bringing that interaction element, is basically very exciting and can basically help your email stand out from the rest, because it's almost an interactive element without
Yeah.
any camp level complication.
Cool. Dutch Texan, you had a question a while back. What's up?
Yes, probably around brand boards. Maybe it's included in there, maybe it's not. But I was thinking about doing snapshots for the same opportunity, but people with different brands. And so I was thinking about, why can we not do custom values for like a background color or something like that? And now with brand board, is that going to be tackled or solved, or how you want to say that? We can just go to custom values and basically put for a sub account the different colors in, and they will be all around, like the websites, emails, everything will be in the same brand colors as that you give them.
Yes. So that is basically the capability to change the defaults. As of now, when you open a fresh email builder screen, it comes up with a white background with probably Arial font and some font strength for the H1 through paragraph. So you can go ahead and set up your defaults at some place. So by default, if someone opens something from scratch, right, going forward, all of them would be preset. So background
But
color
that
would
would not be working with a snapshot, right? So if I make, for example, a snapshot with an email with a white background and black text, but the next person that I use the snapshot, they want everywhere a black background with white text. Is there a simple way that I just change the custom values, and then all the emails, they become with a black background and a white text, instead of I'm going into all the emails and changing it up for their brand?
Got it. So I do hear what you're saying. As of now, we have not accounted for snapshots, honestly, but then this is an interesting use case that we will consider. As of now, we have considered quick access and setting up the defaults for creating a fresh funnel or creating a fresh email.
And I love that, by the way. I love that. Don't get me wrong.
The past one, like, Dutch, like, we would say, like, we'll be adding it out as a preference, like, later down the lane, because, like, the risk of that is, like, too high if, like, something breaks down. So, like, with that, like, we'll just do a recheck on it. Like, once we do the setup, right, the first part of the phase gets released, like, basis of that, like, we'll go back and allow you to change, like, your previous look and feel of using, like, your brand board. But between the snapshot part, I guess, like, that, like, Shreya will just check the feasibility and, like, do a discussion with you separately. And then, like, she'll understand the use case more better, and we'll go from there.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is everything that I had to discuss about email builder. I'll just look at the questions board.
I mean, yeah, I don't think we have anything directly, just when are certain things going to be released this quarter.
Everything that I'm discussing is planned for this quarter. Rather,
Yeah.
we have just picked up items which we are planning to deliver first.
Cool.
So moving on to the next product, template library. There are a lot of things that we are working at the back end to ensure the usability is more in place. For example, right now when you were scrolling through the template library and you click on one of the templates, when you hit back, the page position is not stored. You have to then go ahead and again start from the top. There are some technical usability issues similar to this. Then there is also the multiple duplicate tags that are getting created. So we are working on those things. But in terms of features, right? Recently, we came up with the capability of importing your templates directly from the admin screen. Initially, you had to go to the funnels or the individual locations, individual product page, and then figure out which campaign or which funnel you want to go ahead and add to your template library. Going forward, you can do that from your admin screen itself, wherein we have given option to create templates. So you can simply create templates with this option, wherein you can choose your sub account, choose the product type, choose the name of the template you wish to upload. And you would also be able to see preview of all of those templates apart from Social Planner, and then go ahead and add it to your library. So this is something that that is live. The other thing that is live is basically hide categories, which we want to stress because there are a lot of resistance towards use of template library because of the GHL templates that are part of the library, which might not be part of the niche that you're working on. So you have the capability right now to go ahead and just toggle off or hide those categories which are not relevant for your locations. Now, this is something that is already live too. You can do it at a category level and also do it at a template level, even if probably the category makes sense but the individual template does not. You have the option of hiding it and also showing it back again. So this is a control that we provide on the GHL templates. We also came up with the option of sorting and filtering just to ensure that your users can see which one is the most popular, and you also have a view of, hey, which probably template of yours is doing the best. Now, things that we are going to work on is the capability is to provide you with the capability of creating categories or even types. So we are going to expose the option to manage your types and also give you the capability of creating your own categories, which you can go ahead in the future and also edit or delete. So this is something which enables you to create specific categories that you want to show your sub accounts. This is a precursor basically for our last feature in the list that you see on the screen, which is capability to customize the view of the template library at a sub account level. Now, this is something that will be very close to how snapshots are implemented. You can customize the template library view at an individual sub account level, wherein you can choose which category do you want them to see and which ones you do not want them to see. So for that, we will first expose the capability to create categories, and then we are going to provide you with an option to customize this particular template library view at a sub account level. Now, the idea here is you can create packages for yourself that, hey, in category A, B, and C, I want to host packages, templates, which probably is for my high paying clients. And in category D, E, F, probably there are some package templates that are available for all your sub accounts by default. So you can go ahead and then play around with the categories to customize the view of your template library, which can be as an added benefit depending on your current subscription plans with your locations. So other than that, things which are going live in terms of expansion, we are going to bring in workflows and documents and contracts, which was initially proposal and estimates, onto the template library. We are also working on creating multiple reporting dashboards like marketing specific or business or finance related data. And all of those dashboard is something that we are working on so that you do not have to create it. You can simply choose it from the template library. And something that we are also working on is to provide you with the capability of hiding all GHL templates by default with a single toggle. You can say that going forward, the default state of all the templates that the GHL team is adding is hidden. And once you have reviewed it, you can then go ahead and unhide or show it to ensure we provide you with the full control over all the templates that we are adding. So this is something that we have in plans for template library. For anything that I may have missed, I'm going to provide my speak with me link here in the chat. In case there is something that you would want to discuss, please feel free to block my calendar. And if there is an idea that you wish becomes a part of our roadmap, please go ahead and put it in the ideas dashboard in case it was not heard. If it gets voted enough, we do a regular sanity check around ideas dashboard. And I can say that most of the items in my list is highly influenced by the people votes on the ideas dashboard.
Amazing. Got some really cool stuff coming down the pipeline and some really nice cleanup I'm seeing. So thanks so much for all the work and organizing all of that. Looks like we might have a bug. Brad, we can run that down for you. Thanks for providing the ticket number. Dia, do you have something?
Yes. So, functionality of being able to edit a template that has been already uploaded be available?
Okay, so you're
Sorry.
asking when would the ability to edit a template that's already been uploaded instead of I'm imagining deleting it and then making your changes and
Re-uploading.
adding
Yeah.
it once again. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
There is a feature called as refreshing or updating your templates. In case you have updated a template already, inside template library on the individual templates, you have an option to refresh it. So for example, you created a email template in location A and you uploaded it onto the template library. Tomorrow you changed the footer. If you simply go and click on the refresh button on the template library, that particular template gets updated with the recent most changes. You do not need to delete it. It will automatically do it. Just give me 1 second. I'll see if I have an example to show that.
Oh, is it the same for all other templates? Because the one that I'm referring to here would be forms.
Yes, it is true for all templates that you are uploading. Just ensure that the original template, right, where from which you had uploaded, if you make changes to that and go ahead and refresh your template onto the template library, it will reflect the changes. But if you delete the original one, then you do not have that capability.
Okay. We'll probably need to update the knowledge base article for that because it's not saying it as is on that article.
Andrew, you catching that? We'll get it down. No problem.
Yep. Yeah, I heard that. Sorry, I was on mute.
Cool. All right. Well, very cool. Thanks so much, guys, for joining us. Happy to announce that we are only 1 minute over, which makes me very happy. Thanks for the presentation, and we will see you guys on the next one. Take care.
Thanks, everyone.
See ya.
Thank you.
Thank you.